Hello, 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 good people. Hello, good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's Perspective for Tuesday, November 28th, 2017. Okay, for those of you, I got something to tell you. For those of you who joined me yesterday, and the perspective centered around acting better than you feel. So when you really feel like acting a complete nut and going off on people, you need to act better than that, because the end result is that if you intend to get where you're going, where you want to go, where you're shooting for, okay, some of that foolishness, some of that lack of discipline and just doing what you want to do when you feel like doing it is not going to fit very well. It's not going to be a good fit for the new place that you're going, for the better version of who you're going to become. That's the why behind acting better, so that you can be prepared when you get into your new space. Begin walking into your new mindset. Hey, Dev. Hey, Scoop. Okay, so let me tell you, almost immediately after that, yesterday morning I was riding in the car with someone, and I heard a draft. You know, like you can hear when a window is cracked. I heard that, and I put my hand back to just see is that really a draft or what's going on? At the same time, my hand sort of slipped through the window, and the driver rolled the window up. So tried to amputate my finger. So, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I was about a good solid 12 in pain. And then I looked down, there was blood coming out of my finger. But immediately, I'm talking instantly, I remembered you got to act better than you feel. You got to act better than you feel. And so that was what was in my mind. So, you know, I didn't act a complete nut. I know, right, Deb? I did not act a complete nut. Actually, I just started laughing, not because I wasn't in pain. I'm telling you, I was on a 12. I was on a strong 12 on the pain level. But because we had just finished discussing, you got to act better than you feel. If you're going to get where you want to go, let's start practicing now. And so two things came. I said, well, immediately I said, okay, I already know what tomorrow's perspective is going to be about. And it is it's 2 points here. Number one, you know, I think I entitled this one, Has It Been Tested? So often, or too often, we, you know, take our issues and our questions to people who haven't been tested. Why are you, and I have nothing against priests, but why are you talking to someone who's never been married and you asking them about your marriage? You're seeking marital counseling from someone who has never been married. That's probably not the best advice. I bet there's so many. Oh my goodness, yes. And you never know how much you need just one little finger until it is hurting and screaming for your attention. We have to be tested in this stuff. You have children who are teenagers, and you got teenage roles, and you're taking to someone who's got a 4-year-old, and they're just as nice and compliant. Okay, they haven't been tested in your arena. And so you're asking people things that they do not have the capacity. Don't tell me, okay, you already know how I feel about academic advancement and you know, education. I believe in education. I have several degrees. But some of the things that people will bring to you, good morning, Baron Taylor, some of the things that people will get to you, I don't want to hear nothing about what the book read. What the book said, well, you remember reading and you read this research study. I don't want to hear that. Okay. That can only be the very beginning of what you're about to tell me. Some things that you try to counsel people on or advise, you have to have walked through some stuff. Okay, and so remember that the next time you run and try to ask career advice from someone who's been in the same position for the last 7 years, okay, why don't you slow that down? Just slow that down just a little, and maybe think of someone else who has been where you want to go, who has lived through some stuff that you're talking about, so that you're not only getting book knowledge. So that was the first thing I thought about. You know, has it been tested? You know, I love mom and them, but some stuff mom and them ain't been through. Okay, so we're not gonna take everything to mom and them. We just not. They can love on us. They can be our biggest supporters. But sometimes when you're walking down a very specific road, you need to find someone who's been ahead of you on that same road. So has it been tested? Think about that first. And then the other part of the perspective that came from my finger that was bloodied and swollen about as big as my head was, okay, we need to set our intentions. I talk about intentional living often because growth does not happen unless you're being intentional with it. Neither will getting where you want to be, neither will this bigger, better version of yourself become unless you are intentional about it. So set your intentions on a daily basis. Everyone who just wakes up and says, okay, well, I'll see what the day holds, and they just tiptoe through life. Okay, when something happens to knock you off course, if you have a course that you were on, it's easier to get back on. It's easier to stay up than it is to catch up. So when something just life, nothing dramatic, it's just called life. When life happens and throws you off, if you had already set your intentions, set your expectations about what you had planned on doing, where your mindset was going to be, I am determined that this will be a terrific Tuesday for me. If your intentions have been set for the day, when things come to throw you off, it's easier to go back to that. Just like, when you shoot a rubber band, it's going to come back to its natural shape. So I am encouraging you today to set your intentions to make it a great day. It doesn't matter what you already know is on your plate, and there may be some hard stuff that you have to deal with. There may be some difficult or crucial conversations that must be had today. And that's good. That's called real life. That's called leadership. Okay. Hey, Deshauna. So I saw your little hearts there, so thank you. So when you set your intentions for the day, when things happen to throw you off course, you do not have to resort to acting a complete nut. You just don't. You do not. And if being a nutcase is not where you eventually want to be, is not the new circle that you intend to run to, 2018 is going to be my year, and okay, et cetera, that means we need to finish strong in 17. We have 33 days in a wake up. Every one of those 33 days should be greeted with an intention. Are you closer? Are you getting closer, even if it's inch by inch, to where you want to be? Okay, so that is my perspective for today. I had to share with you all my story about my almost amputation. And I wore it out. I just made him feel bad every time. No, because of course he said, why would you stick your finger in the window? But again, I had already determined to act better than I feel throughout the day. And so that immediately came back to mind. And I'm encouraging you today to do the same. Act better than you feel, but set your intentions. Set your intentions on how your day will evolve. And lastly, make sure your stuff been tested before you run to people. It has nothing to do with how sweet, how kind, how funny they are, how much they like you. Have they been where you're trying to go? It's got to be tested. I don't want to hear nothing about no book learning only. Hey, Tanya. Thank you, Deshauna. Okay, so thank you for all. Yes, my day is all. I'm going to have a terrific Tuesday. And have a good evening for you, Deb. So thank you for all who are joining me. Share the video. I got to remember to say that more often. Share the video. And until next time, take real good care of yourselves.